All right, well, welcome. I want to show you another app that I found that I think is really handy for educational technology, and this is a new app that I just stumbled upon the other day. Maybe it's not brand new, but it is free, and I think it's exciting because it hits on something that I think is important for classrooms as they begin to have more technology in them, and that is different creative ways to present the end goal or the objective of a lesson to a teacher for grading, as opposed to just a worksheet or some boring type of monotonous work. And so we're always looking for creative ways, right? And we use GarageBand, and we use Prezi, and we use PowerPoint, and we use Keynote. We use all these different things to kind of allow students to create material for us. But one of the things that I like about this app is that it gets us from point A to point B quicker. And what I mean by that is that the content is so rich and so neat looking that students spend less time off in that field of just trying to figure out how to work the app or how to find content to put on there or how to manipulate it, and they spend more time actually learning the objective of the unit. And that's, I think you'll see as we kind of delve into it, one of the benefits of it. So this is kind of what it looks like from the control panel. And all your students would do is hit create a new Flowboard, and this is where you can talk with them a little bit about what sort of template that they want to use in order to maybe illustrate their point. And some templates are made in here for scrapbooks or photos, or for almost like picture storybooks of what you've done, and that may be something that fits within the constraints of your project. Others are going to be a little more report oriented, and they're going to have places to put text and information and things like that. So you have to really help them learn what a good template is, and tell them why that's important. It gets them to the information that they need to present quicker. And so I'm just going to go ahead and choose one of these presentation formats. And at this intro menu here, it's set up in different screens, so you can add as many extra screens of content as you want, and you'll see that they're all pre-built with some pretty neat layouts. And there's a little bit more advanced layouting that you can do down here, but for the most part you're going to be just picking something and adding it to your project and then going back and tweaking that later. And I think this is a really neat way to teach your students about organizing their presentations. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go to this page 1 here, and we're going to look at it. So let's say I was doing some sort of report, and I wanted to talk about Roman buildings and architecture and things like that. I can type in any of the sections by double tapping, and then it's just as easy as typing over the pre-formatted text. And you can see it already looks kind of visually stunning, right? And we've already got some stuff down. So now it's just a matter of making this our own. And this is what I really like. This is the thing I think that separates it the most from some of the other tools I've seen. So like right here where it says place your photo here, you have the choice of picking photos that are on your iPad already. You have a choice of picking photos that might be a part of a Dropbox that you might have set up at the school. There's some default template graphics, and then this one right here, Google search. That's a pretty fantastic thing, because you know that most students go to Google, they go to images, and they find images that relate to their project, and they're probably most familiar with doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Google search, and I can actually type in anything I want. So I typed in Roman buildings, and I hit search, and it actually goes out on the internet, and it has actually found me a whole mess of different buildings. And if I was doing research, I would maybe get more specific as to which building I wanted. It would help me find that. But this is awesome. One click, and it has now inserted that building picture into my presentation. If I feel like adding more images, I can do that. I can click on all these little graphics, and I can change them as well. So we could go back to the Google search, and we could find, maybe let's look up a map here. And there we go. And you'll see that it's pre-formatted this to look appealing to the eye, which is what students spend sometimes a lot of time, wasted time, kind of organizing their thoughts maybe going into word art and trying to make the fancy letters or do something like that. this is really going to get them focused on just putting stuff into place. And if you have that artistic student who needs to express themselves, this is pretty cool because they can drag things around. They've already got something kind of started, but it'll give them the ability to kind of really make it their own as they want to go. You know, for instance, this map is too small, I'll never see it. I'm going to go ahead and move it around, blow it up, do different things, and delete it if I want to. I'm going to be able to do a lot of stuff with these presentations and then be ready to go. So once that's finished and I've got my presentation built and I can do pages after pages after pages, so maybe you put a limit and say, you know, we want 5 pages, then what you can do is you can actually go into share here, and you'll be able to share this Flowboard on their website. You can also share it on other sites as well. You can save it, and it'll save it to the cloud, so there's an amount of cloud storage that you actually have with this, which is kind of nice for a teacher, because you're not worried about are they going to fill up their iPad and they're not going to have any more room, and how am I going to see it, and all of that. It's going to actually store this on the cloud, and it's going to be able to make it to where you can gain access to it through the Flowboard website, which I think is also very, very cool. I am going to go ahead and cancel the upload for right now. So I hope this kind of gives you another idea, another thought about maybe an app that you can use to deliver content to your kids, and then say, hey, go for it. I think it could be used by a teacher to build a lesson, but I think it also could be used by the students to present information to the class, maybe stuff that they learned, group projects, things like that. It's always good to give different projects and say, here's 5 different tools you can use. You can use a Flowboard, you could use a Keynote, you could use a video. Giving them those options of how they want to express themselves, but still making sure that the content is going to be what they need to know, and that the teacher's still in charge of making sure that they're getting and meeting those objectives that are so very important. So hopefully this helps, and I'll see you next time.